Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you how to design the gas detection system within a real-world BMS project. And this is a project that I delivered to a client who was an electrical contractor who was refurbing a school, ultimately. So let me walk you through the initial design of the gas detection system. And as you can see, this is all done in an electrical design software or 2D design software called ProjiCAD. And what I'm doing here is you can see everything above that line, that horizontal line, is within the panel, and everything below that line that you can see here are things out in the field. So like this pressurization unit was a block that was already made up. And now what I'm doing is as you can see, I've copied and pasted that same block, and now I'm just modifying the labels, the terminals on that block to create a new gas detection system out in the field. And the easiest way to do that is just to create square blocks. And yeah, as you can see, just label them, add the terminals, whilst referencing the tech manual. This is the key thing here. So let me just show you whilst that's playing. Is referencing, and this is taken from our control systems specialist program, as you can see up here. But actually looking at the gas detection tech manual, firstly understanding how it works, but then understanding what the electrical connections are, because all of these connections here are what we are drawing. There might be a few things that are missed out if they're not relevant for the application and our control strategy, but that's where I'm getting the information to know what to add in this electrical schematic. So you can see I've just extended the block because there's more terminals in this gas detection block than there was in the block that I copied, which was a pressurization unit. So I'm just adding these new terminals, just making sure that they're all spaced nice and evenly. Let's skip forward a little bit. So yeah, I'm just now naming the different sections. So let's go back to that tech manual. So I'll probably be naming it, I can't remember what I did, but like main power inlet or gas, and then like gas solenoid outlet, then like the relays, like the fault relays that trigger, as you can see here, they're two mains rated relays, 4 and 5, that you can then configure to trigger based on any of these statuses. Yeah, so as you can see, power in, gas valve out, skip that. As you can see what I was doing just there, I was making the gap from the gas to the valve when they're stacked on top of each other correct, basically, like so they look nice. I don't know what I'm doing here. Go back to the tech manual. Yeah, so I think I'm also labeling them 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., which I think later on I actually removed. Let's go to the finished schematic here. Yeah, this is what it ended up looking like. And so as you can see, like when you initially design something, things change and you might have to do some modifications. There might be some red pen, especially when you get to site and the design changes. There needs to be revisions made. But that's ultimately what it ended up looking like. So I think I removed those numbers in the end. If you're watching this and thinking, I would love to understand controls, BMS and automation from a practical standpoint, not just a bunch of theory that doesn't apply in the real world. Well, we've got a community and training courses all completely free where you can get support and guidance from industry professionals and go through hours of free trainings where you'll gain confidence reading schematics, building control panels, and doing electrical design work and modification. And this is a space for electricians, engineers, and technical business owners where we share real-world insights, answer questions, and break down what actually matters on site without the noise or salesy nonsense from manufacturers. And as I said, this is all completely free to join, and you can find the link in the description below. So what we're doing as well at this early stage in the drawing is, what I do is I go through, before we get into the controls wiring is where it gets a bit more complicated. So what I do throughout every design is I first get all the components that are in the field drawn in the panel. I do like the initial power connections, and as you can see here, I do all of the terminal connections for like the controls, you know, relays and stuff for the things out in the field. Get all that onto the design, and then I come back and then go through all of the controls wiring. So what we do, this is part of a series of videos. What we do is we come back later on in future videos, so make sure you subscribe, and you will see exactly how I do all of the controls and why I'm doing it the way that I'm doing it, based on the spec and the actual control strategy that's required. So as you can see here, let's zoom out again. What I do is I do like the power, all of the things out in the field. So everything below this horizontal line, I draw all of that first on every page. And then I come back and I do all of the controls wiring inside the panel. So everything like above this horizontal line up here, I then come back and design all of that. So we will do that in the future, and I'll explain sort of all of the controls and what's happening as we go through it. But yeah, there's not much more left to this design. It's just labeling the terminals in line with what I'm looking at in the tech manual here. So like this is the gas detection tech manual, and I'm mainly just mimicking what's here. And then like we can see all of the things that are connected to the gas detection system or related to the gas detector. So the solenoid valve that's being controlled. We got gas sensors that also are part of this MEDEM brand that connect into the gas detector. So carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide detectors. Natural gas detectors, there's all sorts of different ones. Methane, e-stops, so we got an e-stop. We got thermal links as well above the boilers. So if there's, as you can see here, if there's a temperature above the boiler of 72 degrees, like potentially a fire, then these break, and various things happen off the back of these breaking. We've also got the fire alarm panel that also links in to this gas detection system. But I don't think you'll see it drawn. It's drawn there, but it's not related or drawn in relation to this gas detection at this stage. But yeah, so we got the power going in to the gas detection unit. We've got then the gas valve going out. We've got these auxiliary relays that can be configured based on the status that is being seen or detected by this gas detection system. So they trigger based on those states. We've got an emergency stop connected in here. I can't remember what FAP stands for. And then we've got those detectors connecting in here, but obviously they're not connected in here yet, that will detect when there's a gas leak and can send a signal back in here. And yeah, if there's a gas leak, the sort of things that you want to do is you want to close the gas valve so there's no more gas going into the plant room. And what you might also want to do is you might want to trigger one of these relays to go off and send a fault signal or gas leak signal into a PLC or something like that, or do something off the back of that. So yeah, that was pretty much it from for this video. If you're an engineer or a business, you're looking to develop your career or grow your business or train up your engineers, there's links in the description that can help you with that if that's something that you're interested in doing.